I want to continue with the discussion of using Flippitynet to help build interactive materials for OG lessons. So last time I talked about using Flippity's matching game or concentration game, and today I want to concentrate on their manipulatives. So Flippitynet has 24 different activities that they have. Flippity manipulatives I find very useful for anything where you would have a sort. That makes sense. It looks like this. This is their demo. So each of these pieces is something that you can sort or you can manipulate. And it comes with the ability to change the background, for instance. I want to put some columns in and sort it this way, or if I want to put a grid in, or it has other just backgrounds. And you can sort things. It even has a Venn diagram. What it also has, and I'll talk about more, is the ability to use custom backgrounds. And that's where it gets really, really helpful. But let's just look at what a manipulative is. It is a manipulative. It can be moved. It is better than using Google Slides in that you don't have kids accidentally grabbing a corner and changing the perspective or changing the size of each manipulative, text box or image, whatever it is. So this just stays one size. Using the gear icon, you have the ability to change the size all at once. I can make all of them larger, and if you make it larger, you'll get the warning that you might enlarge it so much that it moves off the screen. So be careful when you enlarge, or you might want to make it smaller. So it has enlarged the manipulatives. So I will show you how I tend to use. One of the easy things to do is to use it as manipulatives, letter tiles. You like letter tiles? If you can make it using Flippity's manipulatives, and these can be moved, and you can give kids the option to use remote control if you're using Zoom. If you're using Google Meet, I would send the link to the students and have them share their screen so you can see what they're doing. Anyway, so they can use these as tiles. Super easy. Some people like to use something like this to do switching activities or phonemic awareness activities. I tend to not use visuals that include letters, but I know some people do. So if you've got this and you have encoded this, and then you want to say, if I change the "a" to a what's my new word? And they can think spans. Oh, it's fun, and then they can do it. And you can do that sort of activity. Or if you say, how would I change this word spun? How would I change it to spin? And then they can manipulate and work that way. Or you can just build, and you do not have a limit as to how many pieces you have here. The thing being that as you create your manipulatives, if you want 2 copies of this letter, you have to put it in your list twice. It's not something where you can just say, let me duplicate this manipulative, like you would in Google Slides or in some of the others. So that's one way. Another thing I would do is using Elkin boxes. You cannot create just a blank box, but I can put underscores in here and use it as boxes. Want to use these as placeholders or as Elkin boxes? That's easy. I just put underscores as I'm creating it, and then I can say, okay, the word is spin. What are the sounds? Spin. Very good. Now, how about if I took away this? What's left? Oh, okay, pin. So just as a, a manipulative to help with the activity without having the letters. So if you use open boxes, these are just underscores. And one of the things I like to do with my students is create games or sorts, and obviously this we could do a sort. You have the ability to put colors in as you're creating the manipulative, and you can play games with it in not quite like a playing card, but in a way that at least allows more interaction. For instance, if I want to play an Uno type game, I'll put out some columns. I'll split up these ones that are in the middle here. Whatever, I would do it evenly. Generally, I would do it before it started. But in any case, I'd say, okay, this obviously is for the student who's working at lens level and common digraphs. So if we start with this word smug, so you have a choice of putting on this initial consonant cluster or the medial vowel, or you can match the same ending consonant. So they're going to look through and read and read and read. I like activities where my students have to read them again and again and again and think about it, because it's a lot easier to play a game and have the student read the words 50 times than it is to just do a fluency page of, okay, now we're doing word level fluency, let's just read this list. So they say, okay, here I found one, smug, and then I say, okay, I'm looking for the initial consonant cluster or the medial vowel, and I see clock, and then they play and they say, ooh, oh, look, this one has the same ending. The word is block, and we can play back and forth. Or sometimes I will just have them make a train. I'll get rid of the grid, and we'll just make a train. Sloth, what can connect to sloth? Plot, same vowel. And oh, here's another one, the same vowel. Oh, but look, this one can connect because it's frog, it has the same ending. And we'll go through and make a train is what I call it. Student has to make a train. Let's see if we can make a train that goes all the way across, and tell me how they connect. They're reading the words as they do this. But I might play a guessing game. So if we've got manipulatives out like this, I'll play a guessing game or a riddle game, and I'll say, I'd like you to find an animal. So frog, okay, good. I want to find a word that rhymes with dress. A word that rhymes with dress. Look through and look through. Oh, here's dress. Oh, no. I want a word that rhymes with dress. Now, what does that mean? Here we go. Dress. Good. I'd now like a word that has, it's a noun. That means it names a thing. Find a word that names a thing. Here. Or whatever it is I want to teach, I might say, find a word that's something that grows outside, something that is green and grows outside. They've got to read through and read through and read through, and they find a word. And but using manipulatives, I find, helps them to interact with the words more. So this is obviously an easier manipulative, but I've also done this with the harder ones. For instance, this list is for students working at Morphology, and I might have let's put up a grid, and okay, let's sort them by the Latin root. This one has port, transportation, port means to carry. This one has vert, and that means to turn, so an introvert, someone who turns inside. Ooh, look, this one, it's a Latin prefix, the trans, but it's the same as this one, isn't it? But it's a different, trans means across. Oh, but here's another port, and we can do sorts like this, or we can sort by parts of speech, or we can sort by whatever it is that we want to do to get them to interact with the material and read the words again and again and think about it, what's it doing. And let's see if we can find, let's split it into nouns and adjectives, or whatever they might know, nouns, verbs, adjectives. And we'll do this portly. Here's adjective, transparent, another adjective, transportation, it's a noun, exportation, a noun. Oh gosh, all the shuns are nouns. Whatever it is that we might do to interact with the material. So this is, again, using the manipulatives with a different background. So we've got the 4-column background here. Sorry. So that was using their standard backgrounds. Here's what I like. You have the option of uploading a custom background. So I can take an image of a game board that I picked up somewhere and stick it in, and it is now something where I can put my manipulatives on. I'm going to make these a little smaller by the looks of it. So, okay. Someone had shared this game board, so I grabbed it, of course, and saved the image, and I can say, oh, but had been playing where I would just, roll the dice and say, okay, the one that you land on, how do you spell it? And they have to tell me it's a CK. But here they can actually move it in. So that's a CK. And then read the word for me. Here they rolled on that. That's a CK. And why is it a CK and whatnot? So these letter pieces here are just the manipulatives. And I would roll the dice and show them the dice as I would normally. I have an app on my phone, and my students will know, and I'll hold up the phone and say, okay, here, you rolled a 5. Oh, you rolled a 4 or a 6, and they'll move down and they'll move this in here. So you can put in a custom background. So whatever boards that you have, obviously this one, you have the choice of bringing in your custom. Here's one for the CH versus TCH, or the DGE. Whatever games that you already have that have an image that you would play on, that image can be loaded in as a background, and then I make the pieces to move onto the board. Here's one with the initial C and K. Here's one. I like to play a 6x6 grid, and I roll the dice, and we want to get 4 in a row. And I actually might make it so it has my name and my student's name, but here's one. I just changed it so I have 2 different colors. So I took the image of a 6x6 grid and put that image in, and I'll show you how to do that, as a custom background. And then as we roll the dice and we get to read the words and cover it, the object, we need to get 4 in a row as we're reading the words again. So that has a custom image as the background. Here's one I have where I just have some affixes, and we might build words, So port. And what words can we build with this? Portable, exportable, about exported. And we use this as we work on morphology and build words, build lots of words. And have our students think about the word parts, build them. I've done something like this also, not just with the affixes, but with syllables. So my students that have a word list they're having to study, and we've spelled the words, analyzed the words, and I might put something like this together for by syllables. So they go to build the words by syllables just to get them to really listen to the sounds and listen to what's happening in the word. So these manipulatives. Here's one where I just took a picture of a worksheet that put the worksheet in as the background and have my students work on putting the manipulatives into the worksheet. Support, supported. So as we just use the image of the worksheet becomes the background, and then the pieces can just be moved in. I will show you how to build these. If there was anything else I wanted to. So when you go to the Flippity website, or at flippity.net, it gives you the demo, they give you instructions as to what to do, and they give you a template. You will download the template. You just click on it, and it says make a copy. They've made it so you just makes a copy for you if you press on it. And the copy looks like this. So it's showing you, remember those names that were in the demo? Here are all those names, and it's showing you where the colors would go. So the colors would go in the second column. Down here are the different sheets. So the name of this sheet is the name of your game. Then it has backgrounds, options, and where you get the link. So let's say I had that list of hard and soft C's. Oh, actually, let me pick a different. So here we will work with this one first. So I like to play games with my kids, and if you gamify something, it makes it less onerous. So I would always bring in game boards, and we would do our work, and then you move your piece on the game board, but you can't do that in distance. So I have Google Slides of game boards, and then it's like, okay, I can put my game board into the Flippity board, and I'm going to tell you that the next portion I will show you the Flippity game board. They created a game board, but they did this before they made their update with their game board. But so if you have a game board that you like, you could put it in this way. Or this is how you would do it for any image. So I would have a game board, and I'm going to have my manipulatives be the names of my students. So I put my students' names in here, and I might give us each a different color. So our manipulative will have a different fill on that, on the little card that it makes. Under the sheet that says backgrounds, these are the backgrounds that it comes with the Flippity. I write in game board, that's what I want to call this background. And I put in a link to my game board. The caveat here is that the image, whatever it is, has to reside on the web somewhere. It has to be published. So if it's something that you do in Google Drawings, you take your Google drawing and you hit publish to the web and you get the link. For my game board, what I did was I took my the image of my game board and I went to imgbb.com and imagebb.com. I don't know what the BB stands for, but they are a image hosting site. So I took my image and I just go to imgbb.com and I say upload it here. Just drag and drop, upload it there. And I need to have a link, so a direct link, something that has a HTTPS, and it has to end with a JPEG or PNG link. I copy the link, just like that. It happens instantaneously. It's so fast. And I go back. Sorry. Nope, where'd it go? Here we go. And I paste it, Control V, into where it has game board. Just like that. Come down here to the first sheet. You want to rename it, which I've already done. Rename it to whatever you're going to call it. I called this my Bitmoji game board. Rename it, because that becomes the name of your game. Come up here to File, go down to Publish to the Web, and it'll say, do you want to publish? And it's actually, I've done one where it's already published. It is published. You hit yes, publish it, and it's going to say, are you sure? You hit yes, and then it'll come up and say, copy the link. You don't need to copy that link. What you need to do is come back here and to the sheet where it says get the link here. On this sheet, come up here. The link that you want resides here. So Flippitynet takes your published material and does its magic, does all the coding, and produces a link to the game. So there we go. I've got this game. Oh, doesn't that look so exciting? It's actually just the names of some students. I'm going to move them here. I'm actually going to make these smaller. That's way too big. Here, I don't need all of them. I'm just going to be playing with Frank right now. Cover the rest of them. And I'm going to go to the gear icon, go to the backgrounds and see it says game board. There we go. There's my game board. So now I put our pieces here and we get to play our game. And I would share control with my student. And then again, I would hold up my dice, hold up my cards. So I use this for when I have cards already printed, ones that I've had forever. And if I'm working on a concept, I'd hold the card up to the camera. They would read the word. Here we go. We're working on BCCB words. I hold it up. There we go. Oh, you got to read that. Roll the dice. And you rolled a 6. There we go. You rolled a 3. And you would move your piece on the game board. Oh, my goodness. Go back to start. Shucks. And we would play this way. And is it any better than just reading the list of words? Kids like it better. If the kids like it better and they're more engaged, it helps them to learn the material. So this is a game board. So you just take that image. It has to reside on the web. Either use Google Drawings and publish it, or take it to the imgbb.com and upload it, and they give you a link to, they host this image. There you go. What else? So when I have a concept that I'm working on, I might take the same material and put it in a couple of different games. So I want to show you, I had this, this was a list of hard and soft C words that we used for the matching game. So what I can do is I'm gonna take this list, copy it, Control C, come over here, and I'm just gonna paste it in, get rid of all this. I'm gonna paste it in here. Oops, I missed one. I'm gonna just paste that same list in here. There, didn't take me any time. Change the name here, rename to hard and soft. Okay. I'm not putting in a special background. I'm just going to file, publish to the web. Do I want to publish? Yes. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to publish it. X out of this. We don't need this. What we want is to come to here where it says get the link here. There it is. There's the link. And now I can have my students sort the words according to whether it's a hard C or a soft C. So it took me, what, 45 seconds. So if the list already exists because we've used it elsewhere, pop it in and now we can do a sort. So any list that you have, just pop it in. Now you've got a sort, and I would change this and say we're going to do 2 columns. And now you can sort it by the sound. There we go. And read the words at the same time. So doing sorts is really easy on this. If you have the list of words that you want to make into manipulatives somewhere, it takes seriously a minute to do. While we're here, I want to show you, I had that list of words. I want to show you in Flippity that you can also put those words into what they call their random name picker. So it's a spinning wheel where the words exist there. I'm going to come here, download the template, copy. Is get rid of what's here. Paste the words in here. Change the name again to C. Publish to the web. Are you sure? Yep, publish it. Yep, I'm sure. Go ahead. Get out of this. Get the link here. There it is. And now those words are here. Okay. So we can spin it, and we have to read the word that comes up. Cactus. Spin it. I'm not crazy about their name picker like this. I feel like it spins for too long and makes me dizzy. I don't care for it, but if you like that sort of thing, it takes a minute. And if it gives you a different look as a way to practice whatever it is you're practicing, it's here. It doesn't take time. If it helps you, great. The other thing you can do here is put it into a bingo. So I can take the same thing, it's a template, copy the template. And of course, it's going to be slow now. Anyway, pop the words in. Here we go. Now, obviously, with a bingo, you're going to need 24 or 25 words. So my little list of whatever that was, 8 words is not enough. But you can see that if you had a longer list, you would pop it in and do the same thing and create a bingo card, play bingo games. So I use the bingo if I have longer lists. I wouldn't do it for this list of whatever, 11 words. So that is using Flippitynet manipulatives, and just a peek at using their name picker and their bingo cards. Using the same list of words that you might use as manipulatives, or even in the matching, put that same information into these other activities. Okay, hope that was helpful.